Hey everybody, welcome back to Royal Tarot Readings. This is my fun channel that I do for tarot readings on the royal family. All information presented in this video is for fun and entertainment purposes only. It's fun, it's tarot. I'm just a gal with cards. Alright, so today, I saw this Neil Sean story a couple days ago and I thought, I want to read on that, and then kind of lost track of doing that, but now I want to read on it right now. So, as we all know, The Hollywood Reporter came out with an article several days ago, I guess it was sometime earlier in the week, where they published, after interviewing 12 staff members, published an article about Meghan Markle being very, very bullying to people who work for her. And they had lots of quotes that she was a dictator in high heels, and that everyone was terrified of her, and she reduced grown men to tears. So, Neil Sean said, and I'll put a link to his video up here for you, he said that as a courtesy, most publications will call the person ahead of time to tell them, hey, we have this story coming out, would you like to comment on it before we publish? So the Hollywood Reporter called Harry and Meghan and asked for a comment. The first response was no comment. They hung up, but within 10 minutes they got a call back to the Hollywood Reporter from Meghan and Harry's legal counsel, and they threatened all kinds of legal action, blah blah blah, don't you dare print this or we'll sue, blah 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 blah. But since they have affidavits, Hollywood Reporter pretty much told them to, F off. So another call came back, I don't know how many minutes it was after that, but with an offer that Meghan Markle might sit down with the Hollywood Reporter and try to give her version of the story. But the Hollywood Reporter had absolutely no interest, since they anticipated incredible stipulations such as, you're going to squash this piece, you're not going to publish it, on the promise that she would give them an interview. Well, they said no. Thank you, but no. We're just going to go ahead and print, but we will accept a comment from you. And at that point, the line went dead. But there's still more to it. Even after that, even Prince Harry tried to get involved, according to Neil Sean's source. But nothing worked, and the Hollywood Reporter simply printed their article. So, let's find out about this. This is going to be an onk spread into the whole Hollywood Reporter article. I want to know how it got started, what were the triggers behind it, what was the past and current energy, what was the true intention of the article, what is the next step, what's the surprise along the way, and what's going to be the outcome of this publication of this article. So let's find out. This should be a juicy one. All right, so I'm going to use the AU8 Holographic Tarot. Beautiful deck. And let's see what we can find out about how this whole Hollywood article got started. My goodness. All right, so here we go. For the Hollywood Reporter article, how did this get started? King of Swords. Ooh. Can be medical doctors, can also be attorneys. How did this all get started? What were the two triggering factors in it? Because there are always two. What was the past event that put this into motion? Ooh, death in reverse. That's a permanent ending on something. Permanent transformation. What was the past event? What's the current event that solidified the idea that this is going to be published? What was the true intention of the piece? The true intention of that article being published. Whoops. Ooh, High Priestess in reverse. Ooh, exposure of some secrets. Right when I asked about what's the true intention. How interesting. All right, and then what is the next step? What is the intermittent outcome, like the inescapable outcome, something that absolutely has to happen? What's the surprise along the way? And then finally, what is going to be the outcome? When this is all said and done, what's going to be the outcome of that article that was published? So, looks like Harry and Meghan's team was very, very interested in it not being published. Ooh, this is the Five of Swords in reverse. That's a fight that you've lost, and there's the Emperor in reverse. How interesting. Okay, so let's take a look here and see what we've got with an onk spread about this Hollywood Reporter article. All right, go ahead and cut here. Oh, gosh. What do I do with that one? I guess I'll just take it as it is. We won't do a cut. Okay. Card said no, no cut. All right, so the Ankh spread is we are going to have the 2 triggering factors, 1 and 2. Put them over here, make sure you can see them. Okay, and then what was the past event? What's the current event? What's the true intention? The necessary, the next step, the necessary outcome. It's really supposed to look like an Ankh. I don't have room. What's the surprise along the way? And what is the final outcome? Underlying energy is the Hanged Man in reverse. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh gosh, 3 of Cups in reverse. Wow, lots of reversals here. Oh yeah, so the Hanged Man, yeah, that's in reverse. Upright, it's about being stuck. You have no idea how you got there, what in the world's going on. I have no idea what to do. And in reverse, I now know what I need to do to get myself out of this situation, and I'm willing to do it. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. This is the cancellation of a quid pro quo. Or one person is giving more than the other. This is an imbalance of reciprocity. It can mean the cancellation of a quid pro quo, because upright it's about a quid pro quo, or charities, giving and receiving. And in reverse, it can be that no more quid pro quo. And then the 3 of Cups in reverse, upright, this is about a celebration between 3 friends, happiness, being with friends, being very happy. And in reverse, you're now alone. This can be the loss of a friendship or the loss of this celebration that you thought was going to happen. Very interesting. So I know what I have to do to get unstuck. I got to cancel that quid pro quo, and I am now on my own. Ooh, it might be from the Hollywood Reporter's side. All right, so let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can put these cards up a little bit more. Okay, so the first triggering factor, what was the first factor that put this Hollywood Reporter article into being? Ooh, there was a burden. Okay, so the first factor was there was a burden out there, and the burden was causing this, it could be even this story to be stuck. So there was a burden. What do we have to do to get this out there, this story out there? We have to, oh gosh, this can be an NDA as well. This can be the expiration of the NDAs. Okay, so NDAs, I looked this up in British law and US law as well. NDAs can expire after 5 years. And it doesn't cover if there's some illegal activity. NDAs don't cover that. You can't be sworn into secrecy if you see illegal activity. And then this is, of course, about being alone. So there was a burden, and they were trying to figure out how do we get past this burden now that the NDAs have expired, and people are now willing to step out. Instead of being part of a team, people are individually telling their stories. Wow. So the first triggering factor was there's a burden we have to get over. And what was the second triggering factor? Oh gosh, death in reverse. Well, that popped out during shuffling. Okay, so this can be the literal death card. Ooh. Upright, it's about transformation, change, things that, endings. And in reverse, it's about permanent change, permanent transformation, permanent endings, and it can be the death. It can be death. So was this story, there was a burden. They could not release it while someone was still alive. Is this the death of Her Majesty the Queen? That once she passed away, they now could get unstuck? Something about her being still around, and I'm really getting her energy here, that they could not let this story come out. NDAs were still in place, and people were still willing not to come forward individually and talk. So I think that the triggering factors were they knew there was a burden out there, and the death of the Queen happened, suddenly releasing them from perhaps these NDAs. Or they did not want to have this come out while the Queen was still alive, allegedly. All right, so what was the past event now? We have the 2 triggering factors, and then we have the past event that really started to set this into motion. Oh, wow. 5 of Cups in reverse. Upright, this is about bitter regret and disappointment, not being able to get over the past, not being able to get past the past and see your escape. There is actually an escape route, but you just don't see it. And there's a castle in the background. You're just looking at the problems that happen instead of the two opportunities. And in reverse, you are now overcoming the past. You have now accepted the past, and you have accepted what has happened, and you're ready to move on. So once this acceptance of the past happened, that things did happen, they now have the opportunity to get unstuck and move forward. They know what they had to do. NDAs were expiring, and people were now starting to step forward individually instead of in a group. All right, that was the past event. What was the current event that now set this article into motion? The Chariot. Wow. Well, this is typically Prince William. This is a Cancerian energy. This typically represents Prince William. It can also be that things are now moving forward. The chariot is about motion and movement and direction. So the fact that things now have moved forward, maybe with the approval of Prince William, that they now know what they have to do to move forward on the story, because the NDAs have expired and people have come forward. This is either Prince William, or this is the movement now has progressed to where everything's in place. Current event, this could be the affidavits being signed as well. Oh, that would be more like justice. No, this is some type of approval. This is some type of approval to move forward. Motion has now been granted. Okay. What was the true intention of that Hollywood Reporter article? What was the true intention? Oh my God, the Hierophant. Okay, that's Prince William. All right, so the true intention was to, I don't know how to say this, promote the monarchy, promote the crown, show that the crown had been stuck. They've got that bully report that they have never released because the Queen refused to have it released. That was Her Majesty. She did not want that to be released. I'm sure there are some laws as well. This is about authority. What's the true intention? To now perhaps release the burden from the monarchy. They no longer have to publish that report. The situation has now become unstuck. It can move forward. NDAs are gone. People are coming forward. This was to not necessarily promote the monarchy, but to release them from this burden of having to say what was in that bullying report. They still may do it, but it's not as critical now. This was in favor of the monarchy. Wow. That was the true intention of that Hollywood Reporter article. All right, so what is what's the next step? What is the next step? Ooh, the Four of Wands in reverse. Four of Wands upright's about a happy home, happy foundation, good security. This also represents the firm, the machinations behind the palace, how things are run. It can also be about weddings and happy events. And in reverse, it can be about divorce. It can be about disassociating yourself, about exposing the insecurity of the home. What's the next step? The next step is to show that things are not happy at home for Harry and Meghan. This idea of being able to finally release and remove obstacles from the situation, the fact the NDAs have expired, and the fact that people are now coming forward. This is now, next step is to expose the unhappiness of the home. The instability of the home, and the fact that divorce may be forthcoming. We keep getting divorce cards on these things. It's out there. We just don't know about it. All right, so what is the necessary conclusion along the way? There's going to be a necessary conclusion and then the final outcome. So what is the necessary conclusion? The King of Wands in reverse. Upright, the King of Wands, is about you are going out on exploration, you're going out on a journey, you're out finding out information, just going out to explore. And and in reverse, this is about now the discovery has either ended or it is now under the radar, in secret. The exploration and the journey, perhaps discovery of what's going on in the background, has now either ended or it has entered a phase where it's going to be kept quiet for a little while because obstacles have been removed, people know what they need to do, NDAs have expired, people are coming forward. So now discovery may be going on in secret. Discovery meaning in the U.S. when you're trying to find out information for a lawsuit, even you have to get depositions from people, and this is called, you request documents, all kinds of information, any documents, emails, tapes, transcripts, anything that has to do with communication, and things that have happened are now requested from the attorneys. So discovery may be going on, or it's maybe being wrapped up, but discovery has been going on. So that's a necessary conclusion. What's the surprise along the way? The King of Cups. Well, this is William again. This could be Andrew as well. We have so many cups in the water signs in the royal family. It could be, King Charles, although he usually shows up as the emperor. This is also about emotional support. What's the surprise along the way? I think they're going to get support, emotional support. I think from King Charles or Prince William. In some way, shape, or form, they're going to provide some emotional support for the people who have been wronged, because they now feel that they can do this, they can move forward with it, because these NDAs have expired and they're individual people. Who could be? This could also be Marcus Anderson too. Ooh. Surprise along the way is Marcus Anderson? Is he going to say something? Ooh. I should have looked up Tyler Perry, see what his sign is. A very powerful man, a water sign, is going to come forward with some kind of emotional support in a surprise move. So we may see that with this Hollywood Reporter article. All right, and finally, what is the outcome? What's the outcome going to be when this whole thing is all said and done? Ooh, Seven of Swords, lies, deception, and trickery. This is about someone trying to come in and steal something away from you. It's also about someone being an imposter too, trying to get away with something. So the outcome is going to be someone's going to try to get away with something. There's going to be some deception having to do with this release of this article that they've put out there. NDAs. There's going to be some deception exposed, and it may be on the point of what was contained in the story. There was some deception in there, maybe to flesh out. You know how sometimes when things are put out, there's always something that's a little bit wrong in there, and the only person who would have known that is someone who's directly involved. There may have been a little bit of a little trap in there in that article to see if they could catch someone out. Ooh. And this person's going to be involved in it. Oh, wow. Maybe Marcus Anderson, allegedly. Someone who has some knowledge of this deception is going to come forward, comment on it, and the only way they could have known it is if they're directly involved. So there was some little trap in there in that story that we don't know about yet. How very interesting. All right, my goodness, let's do a quick wrap up. All right, so behind this Hollywood article story, what was the initial trigger to get this underway? And that was there was a burden. There was a burden on the people who wanted to talk, and they couldn't. And they needed a release of this burden. And then what was the other triggering factor? A death, and this could be the death of the Queen. Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth, when she passed away, they somehow felt free now to move forward with this type of information. And then what was the past event that solidified it? people were finally able to get over things that had happened. They were able to reconcile with the past and now move forward. And the current event that happened is sometimes some type of movement, some type of approval that happened either through Prince William or someone who is connected with the monarchy who gave their approval on this. And then what was the true intention of the article? To free the monarchy from what they had been chained to. They had been stuck on things that they could say, things that they could acknowledge, and this was their way out. Once it's out there, they can talk about it. NDAs are up. People are talking individually. All right, and then what's the next step? To expose the insecurity of the Markle home, that divorce may be forthcoming and that things are not happy at home. And then what's the necessary conclusion? Discovery, information, secret investigations into things that actually happened. I wonder if that's the bullying report. Oh my. Necessary outcome, maybe the exposure of that bullying report. I didn't even think about that. What's the surprise along the way? Someone's going to talk. Else is going to come out and say something as a support mechanism, but the outcome is it's going to reveal a deception and some trick that was maybe in that article. Well, we're going to have to keep our eye on this one. My goodness. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like and share. And if you're a subscriber, well, thank you so much. I appreciate all my subscribers. You guys are so amazing. Thank you for all your comments and your likes. I learned so much from all of you. Thank you so much for putting things out there for me and to interact with my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're not a subscriber, well, come on, you need to subscribe. Don't wait any longer. Click the subscribe button. It's free. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you won't miss another reading. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you again soon on Royal Tarot Readings. Bye-bye, everybody.